Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and welcome back to another episode of the Islamic podcast. So I'm back with Mr. Sadhguru. Recently I saw a video by Sadhguru where he tried to explain why Muslims should actually follow him.
I am ici 12.
Follow me. So being human means this. Being human means, see, you should follow me. See.
He was actually responding to a question that was asked to him by a Muslim woman. And he tried to give this whole wishy-washy explanation where he tried to make it seem like somehow Islam as a religion is restrictive, it's backward and that kind of nonsense. So we'll take a look at what he said and then I'll make my response, inshallah.
This is the one that's closest to my heart. So I'm born a Muslim and I'm a faithful Muslim, and also I'm a very avid follower of yours, and I believe in your teachings, and the tools that you use have helped me tremendously in my modern life. How do I navigate between the two and to not seem like I'm offending the Muslim community by following a guru such as you?
Imagine you have a car, right? And your car breaks down. And in order to fix your car, you go to a doctor instead of a mechanic. That's basically what you're doing when you're going to Sadhguru to solve your problems, okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who created you, okay? He's the one who knows exactly how to solve your problems. So if you face problems in your life, you shouldn't be going to these people like Sadhguru, who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. But frankly, he steals ideas from other people, and he didn't even study with us. He didn't study with us. He steals ideas from other gurus and then pass it off. Instead of going to this, you should go to the actual proper rich intellectual tradition that we have and learn from there. Go to the scholars. If you face any problem in your life, trust me, Islam has the solution. So you have to go to the scholars regarding this. I mean, I've shown in multiple videos where he's saying things that are completely anti-Islamic. So, and by saying things that goes against the truth, he's actually misleading people. Okay, he's misguiding people. Okay, and this is why you should not follow people like Sadhguru, because he says things that are against Islam. He sometimes even outright insults Islam. He insults Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He constantly mocks God.
The hijab controversy in Karnataka begins from a school, then it's not localized there, it just spreads, becomes a national issue in Supreme Court, in different courts, and just look at the way the atmosphere is vitiated. People are saying hijab first, not kitab first. But many people have stopped sending their daughters to schools. In school, the issue is about uniformity. Where do you stand on this? In schools, should children be separated from each other in the manner they look, or should there be a dress code that makes everybody look equal? Where do you stand on it?
See, when you're in school, that means you're still considered a child. Below 15 or 18 years of age, you're considered a child. When you're a child, you should not be fed with the poison of division. When you're a child, you must grow free of those things. Fed with the poison of division, fed with the poison of division, fed with the poison of division.
According to Sadhguru, following Islam and wearing hijab is the poison of division. I wonder if he will say the same about a Sikh wearing a turban or a Hindu woman wearing a siddhar. So here this guy is clearly mocking Islam by saying hijab is the poison of division. However, he says something much more sinister.
See, this is the nature of human intelligence. If you do something stupid today, tonight your intelligence will bother you, why did I do this? But if it is God endorsed or scripture endorsed, you can do idiotic things with great confidence. This needs to go. We need to move humanity into a more responsible function. If this doesn't happen, we keep looking up and doing all kinds of terrible things to each other and to ourselves. This is happening all the time. The entire movement, what I'm heading right now, is towards moving the humanity from religion to responsibility. The entire movement, what I'm heading right now, is towards moving the humanity from religion to responsibility. The entire movement, what I'm heading right now is towards moving the humanity from religion to responsibility.
Who on earth do you think you are? Who on earth do you think you are? And what do you think this is?
So here he clearly says that he wants to take Muslims out of Islam. This is the project that he is leading. He wants to deconvert people of faith and religion into something else. Following this guy is no different than following someone like apostate prophet or David Wood. Why on earth would Muslims follow someone who is trying to lead them to the hellfire? Now I know there are a lot of supposedly Muslim simps of Sadhguru who will try to defend him even after this. If you are a religious person and still follow Sadhguru after this, then there is clearly something wrong with you. To these supposed Muslims, this is what I have to say.
There's no problem, Akhi, as long as you are not interested in paradise and have no problem in going to hell, you have no problem.
I personally, I do not identify with any particular religion. We must understand, when you say I am born as this religion, as that religion, it's a social reality, it's a cultural reality, we are all born into something, all right? So, that should not impede us from being as human as we have to be as human beings.
Here he's committing the black and white fallacy. So he's trying to make it seem like there's only two options, right? Which is that either you follow Islam and follow these restrictive practices, or you just become a human and do human things, right? He creates this false dilemma, right? As if like either you become a Muslim or you become a human. But there's no conflict here. These are not the only two options. You can become both a human and follow Islam at the same time. Okay? There is a third option. Islam teaches you to be human. Islam teaches you to be kind, to be loving, right? So these things are not against Islam or Islamic values.
So being human means this. Being human means, see, every other creature identifies with its own species and everything else it'll try to eat. This being human means our experience of life goes beyond the identity of who we are. Even our physical form of being a man or woman, of being a human being, our identity goes beyond that we are capable of looking at life much larger. We've been given the necessary intelligence and awareness to look at ourselves well beyond the limitations of what we may be born into or what we might have grown up into as. I'm not even talking about religion, I'm talking about humanity itself. As a species, we are able to look beyond that. So, why should any religion or any philosophy, anything should be restrictive for one's humanity?
So here he's basically like saying that, our humanity should like, go beyond kind of like our religion and whatnot, right? But what he's completely ignoring is the fact that, religion isn't just based on emotion, okay? This is a misconception that a lot of like agnostic and like atheist types like use, which is that, religion is simply based on emotion. No, it's not. Religion is also based on the intellect. Okay, it's not just simply a kind of like emotional practice. Okay, yes, emotion plays a big role, but that's not the only thing that a religious justification is made up of. Right? So basically, he's saying that as a human being, you should identify with other human beings, and yeah, Islam says the same thing. But just because you identify with another human being doesn't necessarily mean that you have to follow that human being. For example, certain times human beings are wrong. Sometimes human beings say some dangerous and bad stuff. Like for example, if a human being tells you that you should jump from a building, will you jump from a building? No. Even if you love that human being, right? You really love someone. Doesn't mean that you have to listen to it. So this has again nothing to do with humanity.
These restrictions are put so that you don't lose your humanity. See, in every culture there are some restrictions. At least the intention behind those restrictions is so that you don't lose your humanity and become like an animal once again. Because it took millions of years of evolution to get you here, they don't want you to fall back. It's like this, let's say you're climbing a hill in your car and it starts rolling back. We go and keep a stone behind it so that it doesn't roll back. Now you go away. The next person who drives there, for him this rock is an obstruction, it is not letting him go forward. So this is what we are doing. We must understand any restriction in your religion or in any religion, in any society, at that time was put with the good intention that you don't roll back and become animalistic, you must move forward. But now, after time rolls on, now that rock which was at the behind your wheel is unfortunately in front of your wheel. No, you must move it. You must move it the way it should be moved, with utmost respect and regard for the intention with which the rock was put.
Okay. Okay, so here he's committing that false analogy fallacy. So basically he's using an analogy that doesn't represent the argument he's trying to make. So basically the argument he's making is that, religion is restrictive and you should remove these restrictions, right? But the analogy doesn't work because the analogy here, the rock is being put by human beings. But the problem here is that when it comes to religion, people don't believe that, these rocks are being put by human beings. We believe that, these type of restrictions are not man-made. This comes from a intelligent, all-powerful intelligent being. When an all-powerful intelligent being tells you to do something, well, you do that because that's for your own good, right? Let me fix this analogy, right? Now imagine, let's use this exact same analogy. But the reason people put a rock behind their car is so that people cannot use this road. Now this road, let's say, is a private road, right? And people don't want other people to get on this road. And not only do they not want them to get on this road, getting on this road could be very, very dangerous. Okay? The reason it could be dangerous is because, let's say that if more than one car travels to this road, because the road is built very weak, it could collapse, right? It could collapse. And that's why they put this rock there. But because you don't know that that's the reason the rock was put there, you remove the rock and you try to go onto on the road and the road collapses. So of course, the point here is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all powerful and all knowledgeable. He knows what is good and what is bad. He knows what is good for us because He created us, right? So when He tells you to do something and tells you not to do something, you should listen. For example, when He tells you to not drink alcohol, there's a good reason why He's telling you to do that. So it's not the case that human beings came up with these things and just put that nonchalantly. That's not what's happening here. What's happening is that we believe that these restrictions, as He calls it, are put there by an all-powerful being, and there is usually a very good wisdom behind this type of rulings. And your job is to try and understand those wisdom and try to understand why the creator of heaven and earth actually told you to not do those things. Okay, and once you understand that, you will know why you shouldn't remove the rock, as He says. So yeah, this is like a stupid, false analogy. It doesn't work.
Let us not misunderstand with whatever religion we are born into and make it a suffocating atmosphere for our humanity. Our heart should beat for everything, not for this or that.
Suffocating environment, what are you talking about? So people don't follow you or don't listen to you, somehow that becomes suffocating environment. Why? I mean, people have the free will to choose not to listen to you. That's it. That doesn't make it suffocating. I mean, if people, he's trying to make it seem like somehow, if people don't follow him, that's somehow against humanity, when in reality, that has nothing to do with humanity, right? And this is just a complete false dilemma. I've heard of you, I don't follow you, follow your advice. Does that mean I'm against humanity? No. It just means that I think what you're saying is bogus. That's it. That's the reason I don't follow you. Same thing here. I'm telling other people to not follow you because your ideas are bogus. Now, this is not to say that everything he says is bogus. Of course, if something matches with the Quran and the Sunnah, obviously, there's no problem in following it. But here's the thing, and this is what I'm going to say in the conclusion. The reason you shouldn't follow Sadhguru is because, first of all, the things he promotes are anti-Islamic and anti-religious and anti-intellect. Okay. They're not intellectual. He's making some very bad arguments. And that's the reason why you should follow this guy. First of all, it's because it's against our religion, some of the things that he's promoting. And second of all, it's against our intellect. And if you watch my playlist, I have talked about and criticized his ideas in the past and showed why these are bad ideas. And you can go and check it out yourself. And my advice to the sister would be to not follow people like this, because these people are very, very dangerous. They prey on vulnerable people. And I know this because this is how cult leaders are made. Okay, they prey on like innocent people. They prey on people's vulnerability. They'll tell you things that you want to hear, not things that can actually help you. Okay? And sometimes when religion tells you to say things, sometimes it goes against our own desire. But the thing is that the reason religion or religious belief puts those things restrictions is because of a good reason. It's because life is a test, right? And we're here to be tested. We're not here to live this, kind of like blissful life, this paradise. Life is not supposed to be a paradise. It's a test for us, right? Which is why you have to listen to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, what the Quran says and the Sunnah says, instead of following people like this, right? Because these people will misguide you. If you guys like the video, like, share, subscribe. If you want to support me, you can support me on Patreon, or you can also become a member on YouTube. Inshallah, I'll see you guys next time. Let me go. Thank you for watching. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.